About a dozen people are asking me about my thoughts on the Oscars, and well, here you go. Okay, let's start out with Best Picture. I personally think that 7 of the 10 nominees should win Best Picture. And the 3 that I don't think should win Best Picture are True Grit, Winter's Bone, and The Kid's Alright. Although I did think True Grit and Winter's Bone were 9 out of 10 films. I just thought that in True Grit you couldn't really understand what Jeff Bridges was saying, and that made the dialogue kind of incomprehensible. And in Winter's Bone the plot seemed a little repetitive at times. Now The Kid's Alright I really didn't like, and I know that's a pretty controversial opinion, but I'll explain why right now. You see, The Kid's Alright was a generic love triangle story about a couple that's on the rocks and one of them cheats with another person. The only difference is the couple is a lesbian couple. Now, to me, that doesn't really make much of a difference. And especially in this film, the lesbian couple is portrayed as a normal couple, which they are normal couples. But the thing is that if it was not for the lesbian couple, this film, I'm pretty sure, would get panned. It's pretty predictable. The jokes are pretty bland. I didn't think that the acting from the girl who played Alice in Alice in Wonderland, I can't pronounce her name, sorry, was that good. I didn't think she was that good. But I did think Annette Bening played her character really well. I thought that she did her best with the material, and in this film that I didn't like, she was not the problem. Now, but for Best Actress, I don't think she'll win. Who I think will win is Natalie Portman for Black Swan. I know this is a pretty, average opinion on who will win, but honestly, I thought Natalie Portman played that really complex, full of depth character very well. And at times I thought she was actually crazy because she played that mentally insane character so freaking well. So, Best Actor, definitely Colin Firth. I know someone with a stuttering problem, I'm not going to say his or her name, but I thought that he totally mimicked what a person who stutters, does. And he was such a good actor in that movie. He did all the emotions well. He was in tune with the script. He really knew what he was doing, and you could really tell that this actor, Colin Firth, tried really hard. And if I called him Colin Farrell a few seconds ago, I apologize. But isn't that weird? It's Colin F. 2 people named Colin F. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So Best Supporting Actor, totally Christian Bale. When I saw The Fighter, Christian Bale, his character totally stood out. And a great, amazing character takes a really believable actor, so definitely Christian Bale pulled off the role of, I forget his name, Dickie Eklund, so well, because I was really more interested in this character than Mark Wahlberg's character because he had a deeper backstory and he was more complex. So big props to Christian Bale for pulling off this incredible character with such excellence. Now, Best Supporting Actress. I'm kind of torn between Melissa Leo and Haley Steinfeld. Melissa Leo in The Fighter and Haley Steinfeld for True Grit. Because I really liked Melissa Leo. I thought that she played Christian Bale's character in The Fighter's mother and Mark Wahlberg's character. And I really hated her character, but that was the whole point. And if an antagonist makes you hate her, then she definitely did a good job, because I despised her. My friend who was sitting next to me was even like, "Oh, shut up, woman," during the whole film. And she just played it with such emotion and anger, and it was just really, really awesome. But Haley Steinfeld, she is just 14, and yet her acting style was like that of an adult. She said her lines very confidently. She didn't really... And her character wasn't your ordinary child character in an action movie who just gets kidnapped and is helpless. No, she played one of the most feminist roles ever. And that's saying a lot because I really think that these days in Hollywood, a lot of the women are just portrayed as big-breasted, sexy beasts in all the movies. And so, yeah, Haley Steinfeld, props for not only playing the part really well for a young kid, but for playing an honest feminist role. You rank up there with Sigourney Weaver in Aliens and Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. So yeah, if I was to lean towards a choice, I would have to go with Haley Steinfeld because, I don't know, I just think that if a kid could pull off such an amazing, incredible part, then I think she definitely deserves an award. But who knows? I don't want the same thing that happened to her that Tatum O'Neal. Like, Tatum O'Neal won Best Supporting Actress like 40 or 30 years ago and she turned into a drug addict. I don't want that to happen to Haley Steinfeld. So if not having that happen to Haley Steinfeld means not winning Best Supporting Actress, well, that's just fine. But I still think she deserves that award. Best Director and Best Picture. I have the same choice. Now, for Best Picture, I think that even though I don't like picking favorites, I would have to lean towards The Social Network. Because, for me, it had more complexity than a lot of the other films. It was more emotionally driven. And if I had to pick, it would be The Social Network. But if, like, Inception or The King's Speech wins, then that's just fine. Anyway, now, those are my Oscar thoughts. Oh, and Best Screenplay should go to Aaron Sorkin for The Social Network because the dialogue was just so rapid fire and, like, it gave all the information and, like, it was really complex and interesting, the dialogue. But you could understand it if you pay attention. Now, as a bonus, I will include the Razzies, my thoughts on the Razzies. I personally think that Twilight Eclipse should win the Razzie for Worst Picture because it was just so bland and dull and really uninteresting. I did not care about the characters, and I liked New Moon because New Moon actually had some good performances from like Taylor Lautner and Ashley Greene. But in Eclipse, they just got much worse, and their performances really didn't stand out. They were just like Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. They were just like, hey, I'm a vampire. I wanna make out with you, that kind of thing. But so yeah, I really didn't like Twilight Eclipse. But a lot of people are actually going with The Last Airbender for Worst Picture. Now, I did a review on The Last Airbender, and I said that it wasn't that bad. I just really didn't like the script and the dialogue and some of the acting. But The Last Airbender had enough good qualities to make it better than a lot of the Worst Picture nominees and a lot of other films I saw this year. The action scenes were really well choreographed. Noah Ringer and Dev Patel were really good as Aang and Zuko, respectively, even though, from what I've heard, their characters are nothing like they are on the show. I never watched the show, so I apologize if I praised something that shouldn't be praised. But for me, I thought they gave good performances. Dev Patel was really intimidating as a villain, and I don't know why he got a Worst Supporting Actor nomination. But on the bright side, Jackson Rathborn from The Last Airbender got a Worst Supporting Actor nomination, and I thought he did horrible in both The Last Airbender and Eclipse. He was just like, the entire time, just like that face. So, as for the other Worst Picture nominees, I didn't see Sex and the City 2 or The Bounty Hunter, nor do I want to. But, You know, Vampires Suck is nominated, and I know that I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was definitely not the best comedy I ever seen. There was a lot of bad jokes in it, but a lot of the scenes really did a good job of parodying Twilight. And unlike Aaron Seltzer and Jason Friedberg's last couple of projects that were really bad, like Disaster Movie and Meet the Spartans, they didn't just parody the trailer in Vampire Suck. They actually parodied scenes in the film, which I thought was really nice. So, yeah, I've never seen so much animosity directed towards those two guys. I mean, they make bad films, they have bad jokes, so what? It's not like they're big blockbusters. Now, speaking of bad films, there are 3 films I thought were worse than all the nominees for the Razzies. Those are Dinner for Schmucks, The Last Exorcism, and Knucklehead. Now, I know a lot of people haven't heard of Knucklehead. It's a direct-to-DVD film starring The Big Show from WWE. Totally predictable, very, like, racially insensitive, and just a generic comedy. It tries too hard to be a family comedy when it's rated PG-13, so that kind of defeats the purpose of being a family comedy. But, you know, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I decided to see it anyway, and it happened to be the worst film of the year. As for Dinner for Schmucks, I posted a review already of it on my channel. I didn't think, where I say I didn't really think it was that good. I didn't think the plot was good. I thought the jokes were terrible. And The Last Exorcism was really just not scary. And the plot was pretty uninteresting and confusing. And the ending was just like, what the heck was that? What the hell was that? That's my reaction to the ending. I'm not going to spoil it in case you want to subject yourself to the torture that is Last Exorcism. But, yeah, so, I thought those 3 films were worse than all the nominees for the Razzies, but, if Sex and the City 2 is what I think it's going to be, I think that totally deserves to be nominated. I'm never going to see that. That's on my list of films that I will never see, the Sex and the City films, because those are even degrading to women. Like, my mom hates Sex and the City, and supposedly she's the target demographic. So, yeah, I think that... Oh, and by the way, I think that Miley Cyrus might win Worst Actress because the Razzies really like to pick on Disney stars and, like, stuff that's popular to hate. Like, last year they picked the Jonas Brothers as worst actors for a concert film. And I'm sure next year they're going to pick Justin Bieber, just you wait, for worst actor for Never Say Never, even though it's a concert film. That's like nominating George W. Bush for Fahrenheit 9/11, which actually they did do, so... they're just like a joke ceremony. They honor the worst films just for fun. It's not really a serious award show. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the Oscars and the Razzies, and I hope to see the Razzie results and the Oscars on Sunday. So, see you later.